So guess who's now making fun of the CDC? Now I'm told I'm not allowed to contradict the CDC or the FDA. YouTube says that, right? Which is the opposite of what, because the government always lies, but they'll take my channel away if I go against their guidelines. And but the CDC could lie all they want, and so can the FDA. But I'm not allowed to. But guess who is allowed? This is the Daily Show. So you remember the Daily Show got in trouble when who's the guy who hosted? Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah made fun of the head of the Moderna vaccines, and he got in trouble, saying that you shouldn't be asking that guy about. And he's saying that he had a financial interest in the vaccines, and you can't say that. You got in trouble. So here now, the CDC has these new guidelines, right? They said you couldn't go out if you tested positive, or you had to quarantine for 10 days if you were exposed, and then you had to get tested. Now they changed everything. They just cut it in half, 5 days. You don't have to get a test either. You could still have it. Doesn't matter. Go back to work. So watch what the Daily Show says about this.
If you test positive for COVID, you only have to isolate for 5 days, 5 Martian days. They're slightly longer than Earth days, so that probably helps. If you test negative, but you're an Aries or any other fire sign, test again. Your immune system is a free spirit, so the tests have trouble detecting COVID. If you can't find a test, get a strong scented marker and see if you can smell it. If you can't, you probably have COVID. It's probably unscented. Count 5 days from when you last had symptoms, then take the name of your childhood pet and the street you grew up on. That is your porn star name. Remember this rhyme. If symptoms again, the days are 10. If you're symptom free, the days are through 5. If you still wear a cloth mask, you've already died. I know it seems confusing, but by following these simple guidelines, we can finally beat smallpox.
COVID-19.
COVID-19.
So that was very well done. And I enjoy parody and don't think anyone is above criticism when it's warranted. But as a public health professional, the fact that the CDC has come to a place where it's being fairly lampooned just makes me feel despair. Because he had trust in the institution of the CDC. He had trust in and he's getting his heart broken because they need to be lampooned. What, right?
Welcome to the club.
I know. Welcome to the club.
There's no Santa Claus.
I know. The government lies. I can't. Please tell me it ain't so. Here's another one. I'm so old. I remember when the CDC was authoritative. Must be losing my sense of humor. The CDC has done a lot to piss me off. After this latest recommendation to quarantine less, which is purely economical, how can they be trusted? That's what people are saying. Where
do you find out the decision with the boosters and stuff? The boosters was economical. Don't read anymore. You'll have your heart broken.
Yeah, don't stop reading. The CDC recommends that you talk with your employer about whether COVID-19 is right for you. They're really ripping the CDC for this, right? Because they're saying that it was based on economics and it wasn't based on science. And Fauci kind of intimated that when he said, you want to close down the economy, you want to less. I forget the direct quote. I'm paraphrasing, but he admitted that it was because of the economy. Go ahead.
Wait. Not only is he science, but he is also the economy?
He's also the economy.
Oh, wow.
So now here's a guy. You remember the old Alan Funt? Here's a guy who spent 4 years in a foxhole in Da Nang. Yeah. We thought it'd be funny if we replay. Anyway, there's a bit that this guy from Milwaukee used to do. It's so funny.
Candy Camera, you talking about?
Yeah, he used to make fun of it. Oh, it's so funny. That guy doesn't do comedy anymore. It was one of the funniest bits I ever heard. Anyway, Bob Watcher breaks down the CDC's updated isolation guidance. I think they should have just told the truth. This is Pod Save America. If you know anything about Pod Save America, they're the biggest shit libs in the world, and they apologize for the Democratic Party 100%, and they're neocons and imperialists and all that shit. And so here they bring this guy on, Bob Watcher. Who is Bob Watcher? He's the chief Department of Medicine guy over at the University of San Francisco. And here's what he said about what the CDC did with their new guidance.
The thing that really bugged me was I think they should have just told the truth. And, we have a limited number of tests. And if you can't get a test and you feel perfectly fine, we think the risk of you going out into civilization is quite low. You should wear a really good mask for the next 5 days and be super careful around vulnerable people. That would have been okay. The message they put out was the tests don't work very well on day 5.
Right.
That's just wrong. That's just not right. They work perfectly fine. They're great for that. They don't work super well with Omicron on day 1. There is a little bit of a risk that people will test negative on their first day, positive the next day, but they were already infectious that night. And I've seen that play out. But there's no evidence that they don't work for that purpose, which is to tell you whether you're infectious as you get to the tail end of your infectious period, day 5, 6, 7. And that message I thought was not only wrong, but potentially harmful, because people need to use and trust the tests if they use them in the right way.
So there's the guy on Pod Save America. That's like Barack Obama's podcast, basically. And they're criticizing the CDC. He said they didn't tell the truth. Watch, listen to it again.
The thing that really bugged me was I think they should have just told the truth. And,
So because the new guidance says you don't have to have a test. If you quarantine for 5 days, you don't have to have a test to go back to work. And that's what's driving people crazy. Now, lots of people, my doctor has a different view on that, by the way. My doctor says we're over testing. And now everybody's going to test and anyway.
Well, they wound these people up who trust them
yes,
implicitly, and then it sounds a little strange to them when they're this scared. You
That's
go,
right.
Oh, it's 5, never mind.
Yeah, it's 5 days and don't worry about a test. They're like, what? We've been hating everyone, and now you just want us. We've been hating everyone, and now you just want us to fucking talk about. Now people can just go, bah. So here's this. She's the doctor from CNN. You see this lady on the CNN a lot. She says, not only did the CDC not add testing to get out of isolation, they are now saying that if someone tests positive at day 5, they need to isolate until day 10 instead of retesting at day 6 and 7, etc. Am I missing something? This will disincentivize testing. And what day did she say? Oh, I wish I had the fucking date on that. God damn it. And who is she? She is the public health professor at George Washington, GWP Public Health, author of Lifelines, an emergency physician, contributing columnist to the Washington Post, CNN medical analyst, and a mom. She puts that last because she doesn't care about being a mom. So there you go. There's people pushing back on the CDC, calling them saying they didn't tell the truth. And their recommendations to not have a test to get out of quarantine is wrong. And so there you go. The Daily Show's making fun of them. Pod Save America's calling them liars. I'm not allowed to say that here. I'm not allowed to say any of that here. I'm supposed to tell you that you should follow the CDC and the FDA, whatever they say all the time.
But not the part about that they don't know if it stops the virus. Don't follow them when they say that.
I don't know. I don't know about any of it. So, and I'm not making any categorical statements, and I'm not giving anyone medical advice. We're just reporting on this story.
That tweet was January 4th.
Oh, that was January 4th. Okay,
we're certainly
fantastic.
not telling you to stop hating unvaccinated people.
No, definitely keep hating unvaccinated people. That's the message. Hey, come see a live Jimmy Dore show. We're in Los Angeles, January 7th and 14th. Then we're in Raleigh, North Carolina, and Philadelphia. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all tickets and become a premium member to get access to all our premium videos.